such a buzzkill, mate.
Oh, mate, this is not the way I wanted the season start. Right, on the stream.
At least it's happening at the start, right?
Right, so that's the stream now. That's my PlayStation stream. So let me go to PS4.
They should be picking us up on the main stream now.
Paste that. Go.
OBS picking it up.
Yeah, I reckon so. There's an echo. Yeah. Yeah, there was an echo and stuff. So yeah, it's got us. Right, I think it's got us.
On OBS, just check OBS. So is the next desktop audio, is it pinging?
Yeah, there was an echo. No, it's still nothing on the desktop audio.
That would suggest
1 second. Oh, it's not picking up. No, on the old, on OBS. Yeah, on the OBS, I can hear us.
Yeah.
Press open volume mixer.
Next,
I still can't hear it on the stream.
Let's do like a 1 minute test.
Yeah.
Where we just so you introduce it. We'll talk.
Open volume mix.
Flick to the on track action. We'll do
Yeah,
like
it is. No, it's on the on track action now.
Alright, cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's still not picking up our audio though.
No, exactly. What does G just said? Is your audio on your PC? Right click on that. Right click on your speaker sound. Press the open volume mixer. Make sure OBS sound and desktop is fully. Yeah, sound desktop is full. I'm not quite sure what is happening here. So I tested it the other day, and when I tested it the other day, you could hear me on Rocket League when I just tested the sizes of everything, and because obviously I've had to redo the PC, so all the sizes and everything that I got off of G to make it full screen, everything was there, everything was grand. You could hear me, you could hear the game.
At 13 of 18 to everybody in the comments. Yes.
See, that's the one the other day. Don't load up Google. Would it be anything in the control room of YouTube, would it?
I don't think so. No, it wouldn't be. It would. It's something with OBS, but because this OBS is not picking it up. It should be showing up on desktop audio. You should be seeing a bar which is obviously going up and down with the audio, but it's not picking it up. So OBS has obviously got some kind of.
Press the settings sign on desktop audio, then advanced audio options. They're all monitor off. Oh, this is annoying me.
I really am lost for what it could be.
No, I am. I don't get settings icon, then properties. Device on default. Hey? Hang on, settings icon, properties. Yes.
Are you playing it in a different browser from?
No. Doing exactly the same as I normally do. The only thing I've done this time is managed to do it in the YouTube studio to do the auto start and stuff. Go back. I don't know when to stream or anything. Try and change the device, see if that works on the audio. Ah, here we go. I think we may have audio now. Can anybody hear us? I think we may have audio. I've got something happening on the bit now. I think we may have it, Andy.
Wait, so when
Touch wood.
Aidan was coming over the line as you said it, and was watching the stream. He's coming up to the lot. Oh, hold on.
Got sound of the car. Here we go. Yeah.
Is that the stream?
That's the stream.
Here we go.
There we go. Yep, we're live, Matt. Go on,
We are live. Right, so apologies about the short delay. We are live. We are here for the second season of SimPlay Motorsport. Rules and regulation changes, driver changes, brand new drivers, and drivers you may have seen from season 1. Also, some new car entries. I'm Matthew Duffin. I'm again once delighted to be joined in the commentary box by Andy. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but Andy, glad to have you with us. How are you?
I'm absolutely buzzing to be back here on SimPlay for another season of the GT3s. Finally, we got the show on the road. It was a little bit of trials and tribulations getting this one started up, but thank God we are ready now, and we've got a fantastic night of racing in store for us. We've got the most packed out grid I've ever seen in the Pro-Am series here at SimPlay. So 16-man grid. Lots of these guys look hungry to stake their claim for a possible run at getting promotion to the Pro Series for next season, but obviously this is the first round of the season, so everyone's just going to be wanting to get off on the right foot. No major fireworks at this point. Consistency is going to be key to getting a good championship position here in this Pro-Am series. But Matt, we've got a man out in front at the moment who we're used to seeing at the front, but not in this league.
No, Adam Kaup, aka Mazda 917, retired from last season, obviously got put onto the late shift at work. He's had his shifts changed due to the birth of his baby boy, massive congrats about that, and he's running with a few restrictions to his car on the air restrictor that makes him a bit slower. Or so it's meant to make him slower. He's still a tenth quicker than I do believe Dean Wasocki, but as you'll notice this year, he's not running in his traditional BMW. He's in the McLaren, brand new car to the grid. I think we could take a run through the drivers who's on the grid at the minute. We'll see Mazda finishes happy. He has got a grid penalty to his name, one of the new changes as well, manual pit stops, mainly for the Pro, not for the Pro-Am. That is my bad on setting up this one tonight. But we have Mazda on screen currently on provisional pole. We've then got Dean Wasocki, I do believe P2 at the moment. Here he is in a brand new car, the McLaren as well for Dean Wasocki. We've got Dom Productions, brand new driver to the league in the Acura Sat P3. Monkey Boy relegated from the Pro to the Pro-Am. What can he do as he crosses the line? No improvement there in the Mercedes-Benz. Teaming up with Kieran Argent in the Mercedes-Benz, currently P5. Smokey Devil is in 6th place, new to the league. Obviously, Andy, you know him from Motive. In from Motive then here tonight. Smokey P6 in the Porsche.
Yeah, solid performer in the GT3s over at Motive, and he races in all of our leagues. It's good to see him out on the grid at SimPlay. A few times last season we saw him jumping into the lobbies, and unfortunately for him, he'd each and every time get kicked out of the lobby due to the online championship format we got here. So yeah, he's finally getting his chance to show these guys what he can do. And Smokey Devil currently P6 in this session in that Porsche, so definitely looking at Smokey Devil as a possible outside chance of a podium spot here for this opening round. We're currently watching Kieran Argent though, a man who was, I would say, pretty unlucky to get relegated to this Pro-Am division here at SimPlay.
Yeah, work commitments made him pushed out of a Thursday down onto a Wednesday night. Was running quite well in the Pro. I'm just looking at the leaderboard. NJ's 8th behind Smokey Devil. I think we may have lost a driver from this. NJ, of course, new to the league, and if you're unfamiliar with that livery, well, it's the livery of Big Boy Brazier from last season, the Pro-Am champion, which NJ is now running in his Lamborghini. Stealth Sloth P9 just behind him in the familiar yellow and blue of the MC Motorsport Lamborghini, with DJ Phil down in 10th. This year teaming up with Dean Wasocki in the McLaren. Obviously you've seen him in the Lamborghini at SimPlay and over at Motive, but in the McLaren at the moment and down in P10. Aidan Bennett is 11th place, filling in at MC Motorsports. Were changed teammate with DJ Phil last year. He's now at MC Motorsport, running in that yellow and green of Chris from last season. Let's hope he has no round one dramas of dropping his pad like Chris did last season. Oh, DJ Phil's just gone P7.
Fair though, dropping your pad is actually a good omen in the Pro-Am because it gets you promotion. Obviously, with Welshie finishing in 2nd place last season in the Pro-Am category. So
I've just clicked on who's missing.
Dropping your controller on the opening round actually gives you quite good luck from what we see.
It really does. I've just clicked on who's missing from the grid. No Rabbit Joe at the moment. He was with us. He must have left at the moment. He can get back in because it's the online championship. We see Holty in for his first full season, teaming up with Mazda in the McLaren SAP P12, aka P11. There he is, just going a bit slow at the moment. He looks like he's off track. Smithy, new to the season, teaming up with NJ in the Lamborghini. Alfie returning again in the Porsche, teaming up with Smokey Devil. Lewis was in the Porsche for a few rounds last year, getting a feeler. Now in the Acura with On Productions. And Liam not setting a qualifying time at the back of the grid. Rabbit Joe. Now, did Rabbit Joe get disqualified? Because there's his car in the pits next to Liam.
It does actually say in the bottom right-hand corner in my race feed that Rabbit Joe was disqualified for a pit
there we go then.
So presumably he's gone steaming into the pit lane a little bit too hot, and he's fallen foul of the race director. The stewards took a dim view of that one, so it looks like Rabbit Joe will be starting at the back of the grid for this one. Gutting for him, but at least he's not. At least he will be able to take the start, unlike in certain disciplines in motorsport, where if you do something like that, then that's pretty much you out of the running. But Dean Bisocchi's currently out there at the moment. Matt, he's on a solid lap here. Currently half a second off for that top time being set by Mazda. Mazda, effectively the top weight in a handicap race. In this one, he's obviously driving with a few limitations to that McLaren, so it can Dean Bisocchi pull something out of the bag. He gets very loose there coming out onto the valley section now. He's got a little bit of time to find here, half a second as I said, but Dean Bisocchi will be looking to try and get promotion back up to the Pro Series. Obviously he was a regular racer last season in that Thursday championship here at Simplay. See what he can do into the final chicane, clouting the curves a little bit, but keeping it pretty much within the track limits. He's going to throw this one into the last corner. It's all or nothing now for Dean Bisocchi. Can he get himself on that top spot? He's provisionally on the front row, as we've already seen, but he's going to be able to just eke out those last few tenths. He comes over the line. I don't think he did there.
I don't think he did, but I think he's got pole because Mazda's got a grid penalty. So Dean Bisocchi, you see Mazda with a one-place grid penalty. Rabbit Joe had a one-place grid penalty. Obviously, he disqualified for qualifying. Dean Bisocchi then will start off in the right position with pole. On the debut of Season 2, in his debut McLaren race for Pepsi Motorsport with DJ Phil, will take pole position because of Mazda's grid penalty. Mazda, though, will start second. Absolutely, McLaren front row as well, not the same team. Now, you will notice something tonight. Iron Brew Racing C and Iron Brew Racing B. There is a three-team... And as well as Forever Forward, you'll see Forever Forward Racing tomorrow night. There is 3 Iron Brew teams. Was meant to be launch racing. Due to disagreements of other parties, launch racing will no longer be seen on the Simplay channel, meaning that Iron Brew Racing have made a comeback and are running 3 teams this year. One in the Pro, a B team with Rabbit Joe and Liam Gamer, and then a C team with Mazda and Holty. So interesting stuff. Will all 4 drivers use tactics? We'll see. Don Productions, good debut outing for him in P4 with Argent 5th. Smokey Devil P6th, good start for him. DJ Phil in 7th with Rabbit Joe lining up 8th, NJ on debut 9th, Stealth Sloth and Aidan Bennett for MC Motorsport 10th and 11th, Holty 12th, Smithy 13th, Alfie 14th, Lewis 15th, for Liam Gamer not setting a time. Now obviously everybody will be bumped up 1 who's 9th and below because Rabbit Joe got disqualified from the session, so I'm expecting him to be at the back, although according to that he does say P8 with a grid penalty, so we'll have to wait and see.
I would have thought it would drop into the back, but maybe you do get to keep your position if you get disqualified from the session. I'm not 100%, I can't remember it. I think it varies. But I've seen certain drivers get disqualified from sessions and they have managed to keep the position that they attained before they got disqualified. So, I don't know.
It's not letting
we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Continue to the next session.
We are just experiencing a few technical difficulties here on the Simplay channel at the moment. Not on the actual YouTube channel itself, guys, but on the Project Cars 2 game. We, fingers crossed, we can get this race going as soon as we can. But our host, Matt, is just... His blue button at the bottom of the screen isn't appearing. Oh, it looks like it should have done now. There we go.
There we go, yeah. We've got it now. And I do believe we've got Alfie, who's kicked him out apparently. So we have lost Alfie from the start of this one.
Oh, no.
Which is a shame for him, if he can get back in.
I presume he probably pressed that red button because it was lingering there for a little while. I would hazard a guess he probably maybe just got a bit impatient, pressed the red button. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe.
He's spectating. That's a shame for Alfie then. Did not start in the first race of the season. Not all he's lost though. Obviously, new point scoring system and stuff this year. You can get double points at one of the rounds. So it's not all lost for Alfie at the moment. Obviously not the way he'd have wanted to kick off his second season here. Currently the most experienced guy. I don't know what's Kieran's done here. Right, okay, they're all the names mixed up. No problem. I was looking at the race starts, and currently I was going to say Alfie, the most experienced guy from the Pro-Am, but he's not. All the names are a bit jumbled up here, so we'll have to see who does what then in this first race. Quite looking forward to getting underway here. Just looking at the comments, plenty of people in and watching. Go Forever Forward Racing, says Michael Matthews. Keegan, think we got too many licenses like in the touring cars. 100%. The lights look like they're on.
Rabbit Joe's got his windscreen wiper there. Is he trying to replicate the halo there?
Oh, maybe playing a bit too much Formula 1 as the lights out, and away we go for the first time of this season. Dean Wisoki's got an absolute blinding start. Watch Mazda, he could be a sitting duck down the straight. The air restrictions, look at him just dropping back down the order. He's going to have work to do. There's an incident in the background. That's two of the Lamborghinis.
Aidan Bennett into the wall. Oh my goodness.
Was that Smithy with him?
It looks like he's coming. Yeah, Smithy and Aidan Bennett there into the barriers. Dean Wisoki getting a great start into the Mercedes arena. Monkey Boy getting ahead of Mazda. Mazda's getting swamped. He's down to P5. He's looking to the outside of Kieran Argent. Those guys side by side. But Mazda there having an absolute mare, as you said, Matt, just that aero restrictions that he has really compromising him. Smokey Dev up the inside of Rabbit Joe into P6. NJP8 looks like Holty there just ahead of Stuff. And that's the disastrous start there for Aidan Bennett. And looks like Liam's made a mistake there as well. Liam spun it coming through the Mercedes arena for the first time. So he's down to P15 now. Smithy and Aidan Bennett up in position. Dean Wisoki though, getting a perfect start of the line, but Monkey Boy's hassling coming down the hill. Yeah,
teammates last season in the Acura. What can Dean Wisoki do in this McLaren? We're on board with Monkey Boy now. Into the hairpin they go. Dean looks very calm and collected at the moment. Pit window from lap 6. As we are expecting a dry race, the difference with this year is nobody knows the weather conditions. It is just live weather. So if they've not paid attention to the forecast, unlucky for them, because I know what's coming, but these guys will not, unfortunately. On board with Mazda, you see through the corners, very, very quick, but he just can't seem to keep. Look at how Kieran pulls away due to the air restrictions of Mazda. He's got a tough season ahead of him in that McLaren.
He really has. As we see Don Productions getting a little bit loose there, coming through that corner, but it looks like Kieran Argent's gone wide. Can Mazda try and capitalise it? He's going to find it really hard to make moves here, Mazda. He's so quick in the corners, but through these straights, the faster, higher speed sections of this track, he is struggling no end because he's just got no straight line speed.
Just got
whatsoever.
No top speed, yeah. It's just really hurting him, and that's what did him off the line, I think, Andy. I think Rabbit Joe's got his wipers on there. It looked like he was mentioning his wipers earlier. He's got the wipers on. I don't know if he's expecting rain. Dean's defending from Monkey Boy into the final corner already. Lewis has dropped down to P14 at the moment, but what a start. 15 guys on the grid, the biggest grid we've had. And look at Monkey Boy now. Pulls out down the start straight. He's side by side. What can the McLaren do versus the Mercedes-Benz? On board with Don Productions in the Acura just behind them. And Monkey Boy into turn 1 will have that inside line. Dean, though, has managed to somehow keep him covered off there.
Oh, Monkey Boy, though, with a great exit out of the corner, still side by side, and Dean is going to cover that one off on the inside. He goes
great
a little bit
move.
wide, though. Monkey Boy's going to try and get him on the exit of the corner. Still side by side. Monkey Boy throwing it out the inside. Dean left a car's width on the inside, and Monkey Boy capitalises on that fantastically. Takes the lead straight back off of him. Brilliant racing between these boys at the start of lap 2. And now Dean's got Don Productions all over the back of him. Don having a look. Looks like Dean's going to hold that one off, but this is fantastic racing.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Argent's dropped down to P8, which is allowed Mazda, you see in the background there, to try and get with these. Dean obviously knows the Acura quite well, was in it last season. Can Don, though, make any moves on the Acura driver? Into the hairpin we go. Smithy's in the pits. That must be for damage. Can't understand why. Obviously, pit window at lap 6. I tell you what, it's been quite clean at the moment. Bar that one incident on the start line, Andy, we've seen good driving from all 15 drivers so far.
Yeah, it was just Aidan and Smithy obviously coming together. I think Smithy must have had some pretty hefty damage on the car because he's been in the pits for a while now. He's now over a minute off of these leaders that we see here. Monkey Boy, Dean and Don currently separated by a second. Monkey Boy, I wouldn't say he's pulled out to Dean, but he's got a bit of breathing space. Dean has not got any breathing space to Don, though. Don is really hassling him, and this has allowed Mazda to just pull up a little bit onto the back of them. Mazda, I think his only chance to get past them or get onto the podium spots will be to force these guys into a mistake because he just cannot get past them on the straights.
He really can't.
No chance of being close enough coming into those braking zones.
Look at how far back he was compared to where he was at the beginning of the lap. So far back, he really has to make all his time up through the corner. Just want to say a massive congrats to Mazda, as Don must have made a mistake coming through the chicane. Mazda looked like to attack him. Congratulations massively to Mazda and his partner Abby on the birth of their son on Christmas Day. Little Christmas miracle for them two then. So congratulations to both of them. But his boy, oh, who's that round? That's Rabbit Joe in the hopefully people notice him. Kieran, though, will be lucky enough to gain an extra place, as will DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth here. Rabbit Joe drops down to P10. Smithy still in the pits at the moment. Not the race he'd have wanted. Holty up into 11th place at the moment. Not the first race of the season he'd have wanted. Looks like there's been a bit of damage to the front of that McLaren. The bonnet just looks a bit lifted. And you see there Liam Gamer and Aidan Bennett hunting each other down, and Holty while they are at it. Mazda, though, didn't get past Don after that start straight. He's having a good go now.
Yeah, he's around the outside. It looks like Don doesn't make that too difficult for Mazda. Probably feels like he'd be holding himself up if he keeps Mazda behind him for too long. Don maybe not really too aware of the fact that Mazda's straight line speed is absolutely diabolical in that McLaren, but he's so quick in the corners, he's making time up on these guys. Surely Mazda's best chance of a win in this race has got to be an early pit stop. He's got to try and undercut these guys.
Undercut the drivers,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's not going to make the move on them on the track unless they make a mistake. His car's not fast enough in a straight line.
He's not. While he's not got a slipstream and he's 2 seconds behind Dean Wysocki, you'd think Mazda's going to really struggle to reel Dean in unless Dean makes mistakes. It looks an impossible task at the moment. Dean trying to stay within that seconds of Monkey Boy at this moment in time. Monkey Boy half a second, about 8/6 quicker actually last lap than Dean Wysocki. Look at Don Productions in the Acura. Let's see how much he actually gains on Mazda down this back straight of the circuit.
Hand over fist. Look at him. Closing speed that he's got. Mazda's going to have to go defensive coming up towards the chicane. Don gets out of that one though.
Yeah, lets that one go. Maybe he's going to have a look.
Mazda's deep. Mazda's deep. Oh, Don goes deep as well.
Maybe we could get a better look at that one down the inside into turn 1. Just looking at the chat, Smithy, so much damage and an engine rebuild apparently in the pits. That was his problem. Unfortunately for him, a couple of laps down at the moment. Don't forget, you've got to complete 3/4 distance to score points. You've got to get to lap 12 to score points here. Andy, you're taking part in the Pro Series tomorrow, and with the start of this Pro-Am, it could be just as feisty in the Pro.
I'm absolutely gassed to be racing tomorrow night in the Pro Series. First time, and watching the action out on track, it's going to be pretty close, I'd say. The action on track so far in this one really has been nail-biting. We're seeing lots of battles going on the track. I'd say that the field is strung out, but lots of drivers just seem to be engaging with each other. We've got Monkey Boy and Dean Wysocki separated by 7/10. Dean Wysocki definitely not laying up in that one. You've got Don Productions still hassling the back of Mazda. NJ and Kieran Argent separated by under a second. Stealth Sloth and Rabbit Joe also very close on the track, and Liam Gamer and DJ Phil. You've got battles throughout the field around this track, and it looks like that is DJ Phil there trying to make a move on Liam Gamer coming through the Mercedes arena. It looks like he can't quite get it done at the moment, but DJ Phil, it looks like he's in a hurry here, just trying to get around Liam Gamer. He's always going to get things done. Liam Gamer loose onto the curb. DJ Phil's got past him.
I'm going to say DJ Phil must have made a problem because he was up with Stealth Sloth and Rabbit Joe earlier, but he's dropped back a few places, got back in front of Liam Gamer though. Early doors, we see Liam improve so much last season, move to the wheel just like Rabbit Joe and Argent. Oh, what is happening with Liam Gamer? Has he got too much damage on that car? If the damage is the problem, he can pit for major damage repairs. Obviously, you can't just make a splash and dash. If that's your pit strategy until lap 6 for major damage repairs, you can pit. Holty is in the pits on P14 at the moment. Not the first race he'd wanted. Dean closing into Monkey Boy just slightly.
I think so. Yeah, certainly on this lap he's reeled him in a little bit. But Monkey Boy got a lovely run out of the chicane, really space, and Dean makes a very last-ditch decision there to go into the pits. Does Mazda do the same? Mazda stays out. What's Don Productions doing? He stays out as well. Smokey Devil staying out.
Dean's got a time penalty. He's got his sped in the pit lane.
No.
That has just came up red. Now, I'm sure the pit window's lap 6. I'm sure. I told the guys earlier, lap 6. Yeah, lap 6. Dean's came in 2 laps earlier here. Now, it can't be for major damage because that car has been flying at the moment. So Dean has come in lap 6. You'd think so. If he doesn't pit again, then he could face time penalty at the end of this one.
Yeah, surely he gets DQ'd if he's come in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the admins will have to, the stewards will have to look at that one, but the rules clearly state, as everybody's seen and he commented on as well, lap 6 for you, unless major damage, and he definitely didn't have major damage on that car, and he's now.
No, Matt. Do you remember he had such a good start? He must have jumped.
True. He can't because that would have been a drive-through, surely.
No,
not just.
Yeah, true. He slipped in the box, didn't he? Of course he did. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one though. I mean, I would have thought Dean would know when the pit window opened. So
you'd have thought so there.
Something up. Maybe Didn't put enough fuel in.
Unless he's not fueled enough. Obviously new to the Pro-Am this series, the choice of tyre and the fuel strategies, all new. The default setups remain, but due to the winter conditions, the tyre and fuel is down to you. So has he not fueled enough? Maybe that's why he was so quick on Monkey Boy, but that surely means he's got to pit again here.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, obviously, if he doesn't make that pit stop between laps 6 and 16, then he will definitely face the wrath of the stewards. So I think Mtcc very much has played himself out of the contention for this one. But Monkey Boy's still leading this race, 2.7 seconds he's got over Mazda. Mazda now the closest man to the race leader. We know that Mazda's got the pace. He's doing the lap times, but he hasn't really got the pace to overtake anyone. Due to that McLaren being very much down on straight line speed, he's got a bit of a handicap as Mazda because of his status as a Pro Series driver here at Simplay, but he is racing in the Pro-Am due to his inability to turn out week in, week out for that Pro Series. So he is driving with a bit of a handicap in order to even that out a little bit. But he's currently, looks like he's matching the race leader Monkey Boy at the moment.
Do you want to know why he chose the McLaren? The only reason he drove the he's ordered the McLaren rig for his Fanatec. That's the only reason he wanted the McLaren. He ordered the McLaren rig for his Fanatec, so the new wheel, the new McLaren wheel for the Fanatec that's came out. He's ordered that. That's why he wanted the McLaren.
Well, is that his authenticity for you?
Driving with the correct equipment, I suppose. At the end of the day,
probably matching. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't surprise me with Mazda if he's ordered a shirt and he sat in the McLaren shirt. Don't matter which McLaren shirt, just a McLaren shirt. Would not surprise me with Mazda one bit if that is what he's doing at the moment. But currently 2.6 off the back of Monkey Boy, lapping similar. Now, we did a test session last week. For those guys who watched the test session on Wednesday night, these two was inseparable in the race. But Monkey Boy at the minute has the upper hand with a lead. Don Production's got a time penalty, possibly track limits. And he's got Smokey Devil from Motive Racing starting to gain on the back of him. Smokey having a bit of a quiet, but a good start to his campaign here at Simplay Motorsport.
Yeah, very good showing from Monkey Devil. He's kept his nose clean. He hasn't really made any mistakes. He's really riding that curve coming into the Schumacher S, which is a ballsy move, I've got to say. It's something that I personally can't do. If I put a wheel on that, then that's me completely and utterly compromised for that corner. That's see you later to any chances of taking that corner to a decent level. But Smokey's making it work. He's obviously got that car set up pretty nicely. That suspension is in a sweet place in relation to obviously everything else, which is really working out for him at the moment. He's dropped a little bit off of Don over the course of this lap, so I think maybe, Matt, Don made a mistake, dropped him back into the clutch, and he's now pulling away from Smokey again. He
possibly is. Don, a very good driver. I've raced with Don before in a previous league. On the wheel, he's now on the pad because he sold the wheel, and he's also on the new equipment of the PS5. So
that is probably the worst thing ever. To go from a wheel to a pad. The thing is, when you're on a controller and you're playing a racing game on a controller, and that's all you've ever known, you can be pretty.
You look at Sutty and Big Boy Brazier, really fast, really good, top quality stuff. To go from the wheel to the pad, I think when I spoke to him, he's actually sold the wheel because he didn't think he'd race again since the birth of his daughter, and obviously he's joined this season. So yeah,
it's difficult. I couldn't ever imagine going back to the pad now that I'm on the wheel.
No, I'm saying
face that. Yeah, it wouldn't make.
It's a good showing though at the moment. P3 in the Pro-Am series. Obviously, Dean has pitted.
It's like sort of like learning to walk again.
Yeah, it really would. Dean, Holty, the Smithy have pitted then. We do believe that Holty and Smithy pitted with damage. Dean, we're not 100% sure about. Argent is now in the pits, lap 6, so he has followed the rules and is into the pit lane for him. Rabbit Joe still out. Aidan Bennett as well into the pits. So what can the Lamborghini man do? Obviously a few people. It's my bad that Dean has got the 10-second penalty. I will wipe that one off because it was meant to be pit stop errors, not manual pit stops for the Pro-Ams. That one is my bad, but obviously the discussion will be with the stewards if he doesn't pit again. What will happen on that one? Obviously that one is the Pro was the one to run the manual pit stops now, not the pit stop errors. That was voted by the Pro drivers this season. Andy, I think you had a vote on that one as well. A few changes in the Pro. They've gone full setups. They've gone full setups in the Pro as well for next season.
And I think that's probably the best thing. You want to be seeing the top level here at Simplay, the best GT3 drivers being able to get the best out of their cars. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And you want to see them competing with the very best GT3 times on this Project Cars 2 PlayStation 4 platform. And know there are drivers here who are more than capable of mixing it with the very best out there. I've seen some incredible times in the test session we had last week. I saw a couple of guys dipping into the 155. I'm sure that a 154 could be on the card from one of the guys in the Pro Series tomorrow night. I myself, I'm nowhere near that, and I don't think I'm going to get there. But I'm hoping to be top half tomorrow. Yes, it's
going to be an interesting
I think it's a good idea to have custom setups, because you want to be able to give these drivers the utmost freedom to do what they want with the car.
Yeah.
Because you want to be seeing the fastest guys getting the fastest times.
Indeed you do. Stove Sloth and Don have pitted then. Don pitting from P3, releasing Smokey Devil now up into third. He's on his way out the pits, it looks like. There is Smokey Devil in his green and black Porsche. Guys, 20 people watching, only 10 likes on the stream. Hit that like button and get this video to as many likes as we can. Also subscribe to the channel, and let's see this channel grow. 93 subscribers before tonight's race. Let's see where we are come the end of the season. Hopefully you guys all had a good off-season, a good Christmas and a good New Year, and enjoyed the coverage that Simplay did. Obviously, we did the charity event on F1, we did the Indy 500, we did the 24 hours of Daytona. What an event that one was. That was a long, hard event, let me tell you that for sure. Don's actually jumped Dean in the pits here, I've noticed. Don has came out ahead of Dean Wysocki in the pit lane, although that close, but Don has jumped him, so going that bit longer has played out nicely for Don Productions.
It really has, and we've got to remember that Dean has got to come into the pits again before the end of this race. He did come in a little bit early, but yeah, Don has really made that one work, and we know that Don was obviously about 5 seconds off of the leader Monkey Boy before he came in, so Don can keep up this sort of pace, man. Managed to just find a little bit of time per lap. He might be in with a chance of closing in on Monkey Boy and Mazda. Maybe if Monkey Boy were to lose a couple of seconds, end up fighting it out with Mazda, then that would really give Don even more of a chance, because those two at the front will be battling. So this is still very much race on here. We're already halfway through race one of the evening here for Simplay's Pro-Am Championship in the GT3s, round one here at the Nürburgring. And Mazda's closed that gap, Matt. It's now under 2 seconds.
He's starting to reel him in, albeit slowly, but he's just starting to reel him in. Be interesting to know what strategies these guys are on. Obviously, with allowed to play with fuel, be interesting to see what these boys are going to do with their strategy. Monkey Boy, of course, no slouch, was just in the wrong car, we think, last year. Looks to have great pace early doors in this one. Dean's lost a bit of time to Don Productions. There we see Aidan Bennett. Oh, who's that? I think it was Lewis just then, was it? Yes, Lewis had a big off, lost the rear spoiler of the Acura. Does he have to repit for damage on that one? That's a shame, because he's up into 9th as well. Oh, he's pulling off here. That could be a retirement for Lewis.
Out of the race. Lewis has crashed it into the barriers in the first sector there. That's the worst place where you want to lose a rear spoiler, because you've got the entire lap.
Yeah. Really unlucky there. And he's got to get to lap 12, don't forget to score points. So Lewis will need to get round to the pits and at least pit for this one. We're currently on lap 9, are the leaders. Here's Aidan Bennett down in P12. He's got Argent just 2 seconds up the road here. He was in the Lamborghini last year, was Aidan Bennett, for DJ Motorsport with DJ Phil. Not a regular person who turned out for us, but change of team this year, change of scenery, running in MC Motorsport. Oh, he's very wide through the Schumacher S's, and there's a flash of the lights. That is from, is that NJ? That's NJ putting a lap on Aidan Bennett there then. Yeah, he's hopefully can be a regular turnout this year. Knows Chris very well, so replacing Chris in the MC Motorsport yellow and green livery. So hopefully that's something that can give him a bit of confidence. Obviously, MC Motorsport, your constructors champions from last season, still in the second tier. What can they do this year with Stealth Sloth and Aidan Bennett? NJ, good showing on debut for him as well. Andy currently P4, not too bad a start for him.
Very solid from MJ. Obviously, he raced. He's been racing in the off-season events a little bit. I think he had to drop out last season for the GT3s at Simplay, but yeah, he's really come back with a bang. And P4 is not too far off the Smokey Devil, so only 7 seconds behind Smokey Devil at the moment. He's just put a lap there, as we've seen, on Aidan Bennett. So I don't know if NJ's maybe sniffing a possible podium finish here in this race. He's still got to come in for his mandatory pit stop, but so has Smokey Devil. So very much a race between those guys. And last lap we saw, NJ was 2 seconds quicker than Smokey Devil.
NJ 2 seconds quicker. He's well up the road from Rabbit Joe as well. Rabbit Joe's got himself a time penalty. 7 of the 15 cars have pitted, so pretty much half the grid have pitted.
It looks like Don has pulled out to Dean Mtcc since they came out of the pits, joined at the hit.
I reckon Dean was low on fuel, and nearly had to fuel on his first pit stop. I reckon that was the case, because that car looks a bit more sluggish now and a bit heavier on the fuel.
Yeah, it looks like he's really having to rag it around at the moment. But this is looking good for Don. He's obviously 45 seconds off on that race lead. A pit stop is around 40 seconds, so he should come out a little bit behind Monkey Boy and Mazda. He now really needs Monkey Boy and Mazda to start battling. Mazda's still closing that gap, Monkey Boy, but obviously we know that Mazda's very much down on straight line speed. So the question is he going to be able to find any route or way around Monkey Boy at the front of this pack? Currently 1.1 seconds, the gap coming down all the time.
That gap came down about 3/10 through that chicane. Literally, I seen Mazda come out the chicane. He was about 3/10 closer to Monkey Boy, and that is where Mazda's going to make his advantage here. Nürburgring, a bit of kind of a circuit that's got a bit of everything, hasn't it? The corners really helping him, but then there's that many straights or quicker sections that he just loses all that. He can lose all that time easily, but he is gaining slowly here. Lewis has made it round to the pits. That's nice to see.
It's essentially a high downforce track. There are a couple of high speed sections, but I think that the twisty sections very much outweigh the faster parts of the track in my eyes. You really do need to have a car that can grip, and a suspension that's set up for.
And I think this is where Don's done well in the Acura. The Acura we saw last year was much more a car that suited the higher downforce circuits, the more aero package sort of circuits. The Acura seemed to do better on. Although we didn't see great results from Dean and Monkey Boy, they seem to have better showings on these kind of tracks compared to the likes of Daytona, Red Bull Ring and tracks that we went to last year like that, where the Acura seemed to struggle. And I know from driving it a lot myself that I've been on the pace of some of the quicker lads in the pro group in the Acura as well. So I know on this circuit it's not going to do too bad. Don obviously doing quite well. DJ Phil's into the pits from P8. That's another guy who's got his pit stop, or he's going to do his pit stop and get that one out of the way. Stealth Sloth's pitted. Liam Gamer I've not seen in the pits yet. Argent has pitted. So has Halty Smithy and Lewis. I do believe Liam Gamer in 10th, the only one to have not pitted yet. Lewis, you see there's got the car re-repaired. What's Liam Gamer going to do this year? Got some podiums, did Liam, last season, Andy, and obviously he's made that transition to the wheel for this season. He's worked hard on it. So has Rabbit Joe and Kieran Argent, and he just doesn't seem to have that outright pace that we saw towards the end of last season he had on the pad. Obviously still getting to grips with that wheel at the moment.
Yeah, it's a lot of getting used to. As soon as you move to a wheel, you've got all that force feedback, and quite a lot of the time it can be very daunting when you've got something in your hands that literally wants to wrench you from side to side, and it's difficult to hold in a straight line. So Liam is still obviously getting to grips with that, and it does take time. It does take practice. It's not something that you don't just get it and then wake up overnight and be instantly fantastic at it. It is a lot of hard work to get used to. With the exception of the child prodigy Fury, I think pretty much everybody else. I mean, myself included. When I was slower on a wheel. When I first moved to a wheel, back when I was 14, 15 years old, so that's 7-8 years ago now, I actually quicker on the pad for about a year or two. It took me a long time to get to grips with driving on a wheel, and it's a lot of it's maturity as well. As you get older, you just get better with coordination and stuff like that. Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Liam obviously just got to get the practice in. Joe, on the other hand, seems to have done bits at the moment. He's in the pits as well. Joe learned the wheel and is seeming to do very well. Funny story about Kieran and his wheel. Get going, Joe. Kieran didn't actually know about the wheel. The wife got it him as a Christmas present, but it was stuck at the mother and father-in-law's when they just went into tier 4, so he couldn't go and fetch it. Although cheekily went and grabbed it, didn't he? Don't blame him at all.
Cheekily went to grab the G29. I just got a picture from him saying, "Look, the missus has got me," but it's stuck at my mother and father-in-law's.
Can you fault him for doing that? I can't.
No, God, no. He says, "Would you have done different?" I says, "No, I'd have done the same thing. I'd have done the same thing.
We all would have done.
Just leave it on the garden, I'll come and pick it up."
They would have done the exact same thing.
100%.
Let us know in the comments if you would have adhered to the tiers. No one's going to say that, because no one would have done that.
Monkey Boy coming
in the pits
into the
by the looks of
pits. Yeah, pitting from the lead here. So Mazda inherits that lead at the moment and has been released. Interesting to see that Mazda didn't pit at the same time. I wondered if they'd have gone in together just to sort of cover each other off, especially with Mazda catching him. But Mazda obviously feeling the momentum swinging his way at the moment. Smoky Devil not yet.
As long as he can, because he's got his car is absolutely. It's a complete dog of a car in a straight line. That he's got no chance of overtaking him. So he needs to just stay out and get the hammer down, do the lap times, get the quicker race time in it. He needs to come out, jump in at the end of it once Monkey Boy comes out of it. Or comes.
Has he got enough time to overcut Monkey Boy? He's got 2 laps. Has he got enough time to overcut him?
That is a good question, and with 1 second separating them, I think it's very much it's doable because Mazda needs to go around half a second a lap quicker over these next 2-3 laps. I reckon it's very much on the cards for Mazda to pick up the W here in this race, but he needs to keep his nose clean over these next couple of laps. If he doesn't make any slight mistakes, then that will hand the momentum very much towards Monkey Boy.
Smoky Devil, Mazda, and I do believe Liam Gamer not yet pitted, according to what I have jotted down on my notes here. Lewis in the pits again. That's not what he'd have wanted in this race. Looks like he's going to take at least a point from this one, though, for P15. So not the start to the season. Oh, who's that? That's DJ Phil. Off in the background behind Mazda there in his McLaren, and he looks to have bad damage on the rear. No spoiler. So that could be 100. Yeah, look at that. That could be a handful to drive. P10 at the moment as well. DJ Phil was a front runner in the Pro-Am last season. Predicted highly for him to get some more podiums to add to his run, but at the moment it doesn't look like it's going to go that way.
No, it looks like DJ Phil, unfortunately, well, he's got so much damage on that car. I think he's going to be going backwards from this point on. He's surely going to have to pit for damage, you would imagine. He's going very slowly, taking it very cautiously into the chicane. So I'd imagine he will be bearing right in a moment's time, or maybe not.
No, maybe staying out. I mean, I don't quite get that one. Yeah, it really is. I don't quite get that one, but obviously feeling that 12 seconds ahead of Kieran and being 2 laps down, he can go. So Mazda's on 14. Smoky Devil's just come in. Mazda on 14 laps. He'll finish on lap 14. Lap 15 will DJ Phil. I think Kieran will catch him by then.
Mazda's on the 14th
lap. So. I reckon DJ Phil may have just missed a trick here.
Yeah, he's got 3 laps left, 14 seconds over 3 laps. Surely Kieran Arden's going to gain more than 5 seconds. DJ Phil hasn't got a real wing, for goodness sake.
Yeah, you'd expect so. It doesn't look at the moment like Dean is coming back into the pit lane, so Stewart's inquiry about that one already in the season. That is not what you'd want going into your brand new season. You'd have wanted to have played by the rules and got out. We've not really seen much change in weather neither, have we, Andy? We've seen just cloud and a bit of sun at the moment, so all the weather looking... Chris has put down essential shopping for the wheel. That's what he'd have done. Oh, and look at that. Dom Productions has been flying out on track because he wasn't... Smoky Devil has been flying out on track because he's jumped Don in the pits and he's jumped in with Socky as well. So Smoky Devil has done a great stuff by going longer and has outdone Dom Productions and Dean Wasocki for a podium.
Yeah, on his debut here at Simplane, Smoky Devil, what a fantastic performance he's done. The first couple of laps he was quiet, he wasn't really involved in the lead battle at all, but he's just kept consistent and he has managed to get that undercut work absolutely brilliantly there.
Yeah, top stuff from him. He's not undercut just Don, he's undercut Dean as well, so he's really jumped a few drivers here.
That is absolutely spectacular there from Smoky Devil. And whether or not he can hold Don behind him for these last 2.5 laps will remain to be seen, as Mazda, the race leader, is into the pits. Surprising that Mazda isn't leaving it until the very last lap. I would have thought he'd be running that stint as long as he possibly can. I thought he'd want to stretch that one out to its absolute maximum, but no, he's not. He's coming into the box. There is Monkey Boy, just coming in towards the final chicane now. So where is Mazda going to come out? Surely it's going to be nip and tuck between these two. Mazda's off and out of his box now as Monkey Boy comes into the final corner here.
Oh, this is going to be close.
It's going to be neck and neck.
This is going to be... In fact, I think Mazda's done him. I think Mazda's done absolute bits there. And wow. He's been flying.
Comfortably.
Yeah, he's been flying on them. I didn't know whether Mazda had enough time to get Monkey Boy's had a bit of a slide coming through 2-1. That's not going to help his chances at all. But Mazda has done bits on his overcutting Monkey Boy there. I didn't think he had enough time, but he's absolutely done the right thing here. And Mazda has done absolute cracking work. Dean, at the moment, P5. Rabbit Joe's 4 seconds behind him. So Dean, since his pit stop, is struggling. Or is Rabbit Joe just getting on with the race here? Rabbit Joe pressuring Dean Wysocki till the very end at this moment in time. Obviously, the 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, that will be wiped out because the driver shouldn't have had that in the Pro-Am category. But investigation onto his early pit will be needed. But Dean then falling in moment, and he's only 8 seconds up the road from MJ.
Definitely isn't over because he did come into the pits early, so he might get some kind of penalty, possibly even a DQ. As we see Rabbit Joe really trying to make his own track there, coming through the turn 3, and we see that's
Lewis being lapped. Yeah,
yes, Lewis. So I thought that was Dean from there, but yeah, Rabbit Joe just getting past Lewis without any issues there. So well done to Lewis. Mazda though, he's almost got a 5-second lead now over Monkey Boy. This man here has played an absolute blinder in the strategy. Went the long game, decided that he would have more of a chance of overcutting Monkey Boy than trying to make that move on the track, and he has absolutely judged it brilliantly. I thought he would come in a lap too early. I thought he would have been better off coming in this time right here now, but he's obviously knew that he had enough time in the bag and has just gone for it. So fair play to Mazda, driving with his handicap.
And what a job from the McLaren pit crew of Mazda then. Liam has made his pit stop. What a job they've done, the McLaren pit boys. The Iron Brew Racing C Team pit boys have done absolute wonders there to get him out ahead, so far ahead of Monkey Boy. Beth just said, Matt would have made me go and get the wheel, haha. Cheers, mate.
There you go. Here's an Uber outside. Go and jump in it.
Yeah.
It's coming straight back.
Smoky Devil very wide at the last corner there. Liam's dropped down to P12 as he's just exiting the pit lane now. Can DJ Phil's dropped down to 13th. Can Liam hold DJ Phil off on the last lap, who's about to be lapped by two cars that are attacking each other? And Smoky Devil's gone deep at turn 1. Don's looking up the inside, but Smoky Devil's fighting back hard here on the final lap and goes back up the inside. Has he gone too deep? Don gets the cut back brilliantly. Loses the rear. Don's lost the rear of the core, and the core around it just in between turn 2 and 3. And Don, that fight has prematurely ended there because that could have been a battle till the end on this final lap. Don obviously has a time penalty but was fighting Smoky Devil really hard. DJ Phil's dropped to P13, so could he have gained more had he pitted? We're not sure, but he'll still score points. But it looks at the minute though, Andy, like Mazda's going to take this one comfortably.
Yeah, Smoky Devil's going to pick up a podium. What a job from Smoky Devil on his debut. But here is the man of the moment, as you said there, Matt. This man Mazda has absolutely blitzed it tonight in this Pro-Am category, despite driving with a restriction on his McLaren in order to even the playing field out a little bit for this Pro-Am season. He has still come home, and it looks like he is about to take home the bacon here as he comes into the chicane for the final time up towards the last corner. He has proved that despite the stewards at Simplay doing everything they can to try and stop Mazda from taking a win here, he has come home and he's about to take the checkered flag here in Germany. Here at the Nürburgring, Mazda takes the victory here for round 1 of the season for Simplay Motorsport. Monkey Boy coming over P2. Smoky Devil is going to come around in P3 here. What a job from Smoky Devil though on his debut.
Fantastic drive from Smoky Devil. Done absolute bits to get where he needed to be. He's just had a quiet race, and then when it's mattered at the end, he's done the work he needed to do, and he's driven absolutely fantastic in this one. Fantastic stuff from him. Don on debut as well at Simplay Motorsport. Looks like he's going to take a P4. Good stuff from Don as well. We've seen bits that's glimpses of promise in that Acura for him that he can be happy with at the start of his season. Dean Wysocki will cross the line P5 now. We'll obviously ignore his 10-second time penalty because that one is on me. But inquiry into that, inquire into that one after. So Dean will cross the line P5. Obviously we will check other penalties after this one. Rabbit Joe will cross the line in P6.
First off, not the greatest of races for him. He had a bit of a, I think he got caught up in some incidents at the start, but was one of the contenders for the early stages of last season in this Pro-Am.
Yeah.
So far, in the latter stages of the last season, he sort of dropped off a little bit and really not getting off the way he would have liked to here at the start of this season. Coming out the last corners, finished P8. Kieran Argent, lap down, raced in the Pro Series last season. Definitely not the start to the season he would have wanted. Aidan Bennett, P10, good points there for Aidan. Holty 11th. That is that, ladies and gentlemen, for the opening race of the evening, the first round here at Simplay.
Who took the fastest lap there, Andy?
It looks like it was Mazda who
Mazda
picked up the fastest lap by a tenth of a second. No, 3/10 of a second over Monkey Boy.
So a good start there for Mazda in this first race, winning with Monkey Boy second. Great drive from both of them. Smoky Devil, hats off to him. What a drive he had. We'll be back in just 2 moments where we'll be live again for the second part of this race. Don't go anywhere. Top 8 cannot qualify for this one this season. So interesting to see what will happen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back just after a short break. And we're out.
That was pretty eventful.
Yeah, after we finally got it sorted.
That was horrible in that qualifying. I was literally just sat there itching to go, and there was nothing we could do.
No, I know. Like, mate, while you was getting a coffee, I'm sat there giving it this mighty speech for nothing.
Oh no!
And then it got to like 4 minutes. He was like, "Right, I haven't really got time to do what I've just said because there's 4 minutes left to quali, and we've got to get stuff sorted." Right, let me edit. Realism. Manual pit stops, no. Pit stop errors, yes. That's sorted for race 2. Right, and join lobby. Yo, babe. Where's Dean?
See how they're doing in the ACC tonight.
Oh, it's multi-class, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got about twice as many views as Motive have on ACC. Oh, yeah.
Right, how many they got?
8 people watching at the minute.
Oh dear.
Doesn't look like it's that exciting of a race. That's probably why.
Oh right. Yeah, Dean had no fuel. That's why.
DC Wrestler is a good commentator. He's not as, I would say, he's probably not quite on your level, Matt, but he's bloody good.
Do you know what? I commentate on the GT3s, although obviously because you was working. The comments I've had back from like Curtin people, JR, like, oh, you should be a genuine GT3 commentator in real life. And I'm like, mate,
you should
I
commentate.
genuinely don't think I'm that good, but
you could actually commentate on real life racing. Trust me, you definitely could. 100%. 100%. Do you know what I thought? I'll be honest with you. I'll be truly honest with you. When you first came to Motive,
yeah,
I thought someone had got it. I'm not jumping. I genuinely, I swear to God, this is true. I thought that somebody had
pulled a
pulled a professional commentator out. Yeah, genuinely, that's what I thought. I was thinking like somebody's done this like as like a really nice gesture or like a treat or something. They pulled out a professional to do our touring car commentaries.
Cheers,
I genuinely thought that.
Cheers,
seriously, man. You could actually have a mad career ahead of you.
I've seriously been looking into it, especially like during Christmas and all that.
Yeah, should.
And I just can't find anything. Right, we're just waiting on Lewis.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting your stuff out there. You know, do commentaries here and there, and people will see it. Hopefully, the right people will be watching.
Make it. Anyone who pitched early without valid reason now, standard 10-second penalty. He admitted low fuel. No worries. So Dean keeps his 10-second penalty. That's all done, sorted, just done.
Was he getting DQ'd for that early pit stop then?
No, he kept his 10-second penalty. That's what I've just spoke to with stewards, and that's what they've just said. Top 8 cannot qualify. Lewis has joined, so let's go. I thought his pace was too quick at the start.
He was low, obviously, wasn't he?
Right. Wheel cut out first couple of laps. Oh dear, Liam.
Because we're on a break now, our views have gone up a bit. We're now on 14.
Oh, I don't like how Assetto Corsa keeps
The game
closing on you. Oh
so
my
annoying.
god! Like G sat there and he says,
happens.
"Mate, I'm not even joking. You'll go to change camera in qualifying. It won't let you. You'll have to back out, and that game will crash." And I'm like,
It happens to me 3 times in the 1 hour races. It happens 3 times.
"Well, so we did it from practice to quali to race." And then G said at about the half an hour mark it'll crash on you, and it got to 28 minutes left, and I'm sort of thinking to myself, we're making it to an end here. Just I thought that game had crashed. 28 minutes left at session. I'm like, yeah, that's about right, isn't it?
Fate. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so
And that's an A.
yeah, exactly. F5. Unmute audio. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second race of this one then. All here and counted for 16 cars. Hopefully we have no problems in this one then. The top 8 cannot qualify, so let me give you a rundown of who they was. Mazda, NJ, Stealth Sloth, Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe, Smoky Devil, Don Productions and Dean Wasaki cannot qualify. Now I said that Dean was going to remove his 10-second penalty from the speeding in the pit lane. That has been kept on due to the stewards, due to him pitting 2 laps early than what he should have done. So he kept his 10-second penalty, and that is that one. Then he finished P7 instead of P5.
That's more than fair, because two laps isn't going to make a whole world of difference. Admittedly, he would have been able to maybe miss out a bit of traffic, but then again, 2 laps worth, it's not going to cost him more than 10 seconds. I think that's a fair decision from the stewards, personally.
Yeah, I think the stewards have... and it's nice to see them do it quickly as well. Early in the night, so Dean knows his mistake. He'll still obviously not be able to qualify in this one.
It's good to see the stewards able to use common sense and not just follow the book by book, do you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
He obviously didn't gain hand over fist. He didn't do it to gain an advantage. He made an honest mistake, and I think that a 10-second penalty is...
When you think about it, actually got jumped by Don and Smoky Devil, and was nearly being caught by Rabbit Joe. So I think at the end of the day, what's done is done. They could have disqualified him, but for the first round of the season, I think he's kind of had his little warning. Let's obviously not do it again, sort of thing to him, and see where we go.
Absolutely.
Don is out on track. I think he finished P4. We need to get Don into the pit lane then. Don should not be putting a lap time in. Hopefully someone can tell that to him. NJ's not on track, is he? NJ's also on track as well. I'm just going to see if I can get in touch with Don.
That's alright, I'm messaging him on PlayStation now.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to message NJ on PlayStation as well. So yeah, Don and NJ can obviously not set a lap time. Dean can't, Mazda can't, Monkey Boy can't, Lewis can, Smoky Devil and Stealth Sloth can't, neither can Rabbit Joe, so neither can Don Productions or NJ. So them two need to make sure they can get back into the pits lane. So you're doing Don, I'll do NJ. Don's gone back into the pits. Hopefully NJ follows in as well. So the people who can qualify then: Smithy, Aidan Bennett, Argent, Liam Gamer, Alfie can qualify as he did not finish in that one. Lewis, Holty and DJ Phil Green can all qualify. So hopefully we need to see NJ dive into the pits as well. Hopefully we can get that one back in the pit lane.
I'll just send an NJ message now.
Yeah, I've just messaged NJ.
Maybe he's doing practice.
Possibly.
He might back off. He might.
Don's just said, sorry boys, I've just told him to tell Neil on the stream.
He might invalidate his lap. You just avoid him. I don't know, I mean, technically you're not really supposed to practice, are you? But
We've got 8 guys out there though who are still able to qualify. And we've not yet seen a lap time, obviously. Oh, he's gone back into the pits. There we go. He's pitted now. So that is that then. So we have got 8 cars out on track. Not one has yet set a lap time, and we only have half of qualifying left. There we go. There's the first lap time of qualifying. Courtesy of Kieran Argent then, the ex-pro driver in the Pro-Am on the wheel. 59.6. Can anybody get close to that, or is Argent the tip for pole? I think with the looks of the drivers that's out there, the tip for pole for me I think is Argent.
Very much so. I think he is the guys who finished outside of that top 5. Definitely wanted to bounce back after that first race. It was a bit of a disaster for him. He finished over a lap down. He had problems after problems after problems. It seemed like everything went against him. So definitely now this is going to be his opportunity to redeem himself. He gets to redeem himself straight away because you see his problems happening in the first race. It gives him a chance to immediately come for the session. That currently 201.2. So
yeah, not
Liam
too bad for him.
Lighting up the timing screens.
Liam Gamer, who then will take the first pole position of the season, I wonder. Second pole position of the season, should I say. I wonder who that one will be. We'll have to wait and see who can do what.
Obviously, the first pole position of the season went to this man, Dean Wysocki. Wasn't able to convert it due to a few issues. He got jumped off the start by Monkey Boy, who eventually came second in the race. Dean Wysocki also with that 10-second penalty for making an early pit stop.
Yeah.
But lots of guys out on track at the moment. Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame he wasn't able to convert that pole. It would have been nice to see Dean Wysocki up there at the front, because he was a man who was involved in quite a few controversies in last season in the Pro Series. It certainly wouldn't have done his confidence any good, so it would have been nice to sort of wipe that slate clean and get off on the right foot for this season, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. We know that now that he is a contender and he's got the pace, he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with here.
He definitely is. I think he's one to have up in the top order this year. I think he's one that you could see chuck up a few spanners in the works and maybe get a few podiums, if not a win or two. He's already taken his first pole position. And yeah, we'll have to see what he can do this season.
Absolutely. We're currently watching Aidan Bennett here. He's sat P3 in this session. Let's see if he can move himself up the order, possibly onto the front row ahead of Liam Gamer. He crosses over the line now, and he does move up ahead of Liam Gamer. He goes a tenth quicker than him. So 201.1 there from Aidan Bennett in that...
The only man to break the 2-minute mark though, Andy, at the moment is Argent in the 1:59.6. The only man to break the 2-minute mark so far. So clearly a good pace in the Mercedes-Benz. Obviously in the winter conditions, last year was all in summer, even in the rain. This year, running by the season this season. So obviously winter conditions at Nürburgring. Live weather forecast as well. So the weather that was inputted based on what was the live forecast for that time of day. So obviously if the drivers didn't check it, they won't know what's coming. I, on the other hand, do. I'm not going to spoil that one. Alfie currently 10 seconds off the pace. DJ Phil's gone in P5. P5. Smithy's gone 4th. Not yet seen a time from Holty or Lewis so far to round out the top 8. Although they are out on track, so hopefully we can see them do a time. Can Aidan and Liam get into the 2-minute mark? Maybe break the 2-minute mark as well.
Well, we saw Aidan improving on his previous lap to move himself up ahead of Aidan Bennett, of Liam Gamer, but it's still a lot of Liam Gamer there. I just noticed him. Little things about Liam. He's really not utilising the track on the entry to corners. He's taking lines that maybe aren't. He's not really maximising his speed through the corners. I'd say you need to be taking wide entries into the corners. Done
a bit of driver coaching with Liam over the off season. Especially with him on the wheel, he seemed to struggle a lot. So I did a bit of driver coaching with him, and he got there. I've seen him do 1:59s. Obviously, a lot of work for him to do. It is good pace. A lot of work for him to still do on the wheel, but he seemed to listen. He seemed to want to learn and be able to get there for the next step. And each race that he does and every lap he does, he's just bound to improve. He crosses line, no improvement. Maybe he's going to give it his all on this lap. That in the background is Aidan. Smithy in the pit, so he's not going to get another lap in. Does Aidan cross the line and drop into the 2-minute marker? I think he'd have crossed it by now. No, he hasn't, so no improvement from him. Still no time from Holty and Lewis. Phil Neal, Mazda needs a McLaren cap signed by David Coulthard, or I can't class him as a factory driver. Well, there you go, Baz. Holty's just on time.
My granddad's actually got a McLaren cap signed by David Coulthard.
Oh, he must be a McLaren factory driver then in Phil's eyes.
Must be.
Holty's just done a lap good enough for P7. He will get one more in. Lewis not yet set a lap time. Where is he? He's there. That was Alfie round, so Alfie's not going to improve on P6, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it looks like Smithy's in the pit, so he's not going to improve at the end of this session. A couple of seconds left in this on the clock. DJ Phil on his final run now. Let's see if DJ Phil can move himself up the order. He's currently sat in P5. This man went into the final round of last season in this Pro-Am Championship with an opportunity of taking the championship. He was Mr. Consistent last season. He always goes well in wet conditions as well, this DJ Phil. The dry conditions are not quite so kind to him, but let's see if he can.
New car as well, Andy, this year in the McLaren, not the Lamborghini that we used to seeing him in.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him finding his footing in a car that he hasn't really driven before, but he looks like he stays P5. Can't improve. Yeah, stays on the third row for the time being.
One thing I've noticed, Lewis pitted. Lewis stays P13, didn't get a lap time in, pitted then, so couldn't do a lap to get him into that top 8. He's gone into the pits. What can Aidan Bennett do? The man closest to challenging Kieran Argent at the moment, or can Kieran get his first pole of the season? You hear the tyres just screaming for grip as they slide through the chicane. Aidan really chucking it into that final corner. Back on the power he gets now. And what's he going to do as he crosses the line? Any improvement here? Liam's improved to within 8/10 of Kieran, and Aidan Bennett cannot. So Liam Gamer gets onto the front row at the last minute, but Kieran Argent will take his first pole of the season. I believe we are just waiting on Holty.
Absolute stonker of a lap time at the end of that session there from Liam Gamer. Where did that come from?
Great time.
Killed it.
Well, I think Holty's just crossed the line as qualifying finishers. Where did Holty get? Stays P7. Improved on his time, but stays down in 7th place. So there is your grid then, ladies and gentlemen, for this second round and final round of the night here at the Nürburgring. Argent on pole from Liam Gamer, Aidan 3rd with Smithy 4th, DJ Phil 5th, Alfie 6th, Holty 7th. Lewis couldn't take full advantage of that, starts P13. And look at Mazda, 15th with the provisional poleman from last race, 16th on the grid. So work to do for the first and second man and the guy who got pole in race 1, all starting in the back 3. What can they do from there? It should be an absolutely interesting race here and should be an absolute cracker going into race 2.
I can't wait for this one. And also with the 16-man grid, or looks like we've lost somebody, so 15-man grid. But nevertheless, lots of drivers on the grid for this Pro-Am this season. I'm not sure.
There's no Dean.
Dean Mtcc has pressed the red button by the looks of it. So he will not be taking the start of his second race. He had an absolute mare in the first race, came into the pits early, picked up that 10-second penalty, and it looks like his second race is over before we've even seen the green flag being waved. Oh,
what a disaster. What a disaster for him.
Round. Yeah. Everything that's gone wrong, everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong for Dean Mtcc. But regardless, we have got 15 drivers on the grid here, these Pro-Am drivers tonight, and the top 5 from the first race, the race 1, haven't been able to qualify for this qualifying session. They're all starting at the back, and it's more punishing for those guys who finish at the front in the first race this season, because with more drivers on the grid, they've got more work to do. They've got more drivers to make their way back through past. So Daniel Francis there saying, Wakasaki himself.
Brilliant. Absolutely love that. Dean then obviously not going to score points in this one at the moment. That is a shame to see, because he had good pace in race 1, and if he'd have carried that into race 2, it would have been an absolute dream for him. Good start as well, get good points on the board. He's only going to score 9 points. Obviously the drop score still in play, but no one really thinks about the drop score this early on in the season. Just a text from DJ Phil there saying Dean's pressed the wrong button. As the revs rise down here, it's Argent on pole. What's going to happen in this second race? It's lights out and away we go for race 2 then. And Argent doesn't get the best of starts. Look at the start that Liam Gamer's got. Mazda at the back of the grid. He's going to be left all on his own come turn 1. Liam leads then, heading down towards the first corner with Aiden in second. Alfie's up to third. And that's Smithy in P4. Smithy later on the brakes. Look at the charge from Holty. Bit of a tap up the rear on Smithy. Everybody gets through turn 1 pretty much unscathed. I think... Oh no, that's Holty. Holty's been caught up with DJ Phil and an Akora. I think got hit there. It's someone else. Stealth moment. He's back there. That's Rabbit Joe. Mazda's been caught up. DJ Phil, no rear spoiler already. And Dom Productions in that one. So Mazda has been caught up in a battle already. So work to do for him. Not the start he'd have wanted at all there. They've got to get their head down though. Liam Gamer leads this race at the moment.
Aiden Bennett is really hassling Liam Gamer, but Liam got the absolute perfect start off the line you needed. He absolutely bolted. He must have been sat there absolutely gunning for the start ties to go off, and he's really got him. He's really hooked it up. He now leads this field on the first half a lap here as they come into the hairpin for the first time. Aiden Bennett P2, Kieran Argent right on the back of these guys. The top 3 separated by 1.1 seconds. Predictably, on the first lap, you would expect them to be close, but now it looks like Kieran Argent is having a look on Aiden Bennett. Aiden Bennett got a horrible run coming out of the hairpin, coming through the Schumacher S's. It looks like Kieran Argent has got a bit of a compromised run as well there. He can't capitalise on Aiden Bennett's little mistake coming out of the hairpin. But Liam Gamer, currently P1 in this race, driving for the Iron Brew Racing B team tonight. Might be looking for a move to the A team for next season, though. He is currently the man with the ascendancy here in this race. Absolutely fantastic start from Liam Gamer. Did what he needed to do, and he has currently got P1 to show for it.
He's had a cracking start. This is the battle further back. That is Alfie mixed up with NJ and Mazda. Oh, just turns him, but there's NJ. Manages to keep the card. Look at Mazda, and is he going to get past Alfie? I think Alfie's to the left of him. Yeah, Alfie, you saw in the mirror, has had a bit of a wiggle. Maybe damage on that car. So I'm not sure what happened to Alfie there. But early doors, people with damage may be pitting early. Obviously, big damage, major damage you can pit for. Mazda, though,
not the inside of NJ coming into that last turn. He was thinking about it, but with the straight line speed that Mazda's got, he's going to really struggle to make this move. He's going to try and make it, though. In the slipstream, pulls out to the left-hand side. Is Mazda going to make an overtake in that McLaren? It looks like he is.
Look how late he's been on the brakes there, and he's got that one done into turn 1. So cracking job there from Mazda. I was going to say that he's got work to do now. He's been caught up in a start line incident. He's down in P6, already 6 seconds off the lead, but we know Mazda, he can push really hard until the end. Liam, though, Argent's got past Aiden Bennett, I see there. Rabbit Joe is now in the pits as well.
But Liam Gamer driving a brilliant race, and he's pulled out over almost a second here to Kieran Argent at the front. So he really has just absolutely bolted on this opening lap. But Kieran Argent, though, is not going to make this easy for him. It looks like Monkey Boy, as you said, is making progress already, mate. He's already into P3 from the back of the grid.
He's had a cracking start as Monkey Boy, kept out of the trouble that happened on the opening lap. He's got past Aiden. Aiden must have had a moment, as there is Mazda trying to gain on Smokey Devil into the braking zone of the hairpin. DJ Phil as well is in the pits. Obviously, we did lose Dean Wisocki in this one. So DJ Phil kind of running on his own for Pepsi Motorsport at the moment. Too much damage again, says Holty. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time, it looks like. 3 drivers all in the pits at the moment. What can they do from there? That's the interesting one. Mazda, look at him. He's having a look, but can't get the move done on a Smokey Devil Porsche that's very battered and bruised.
Smokey Devil got a horrible run there coming through that corner, and now it's going to definitely play into the hands of Mazda. Mazda seems... No, his straight line speed is still extremely terrible. You can see there he was closed in a little bit on acceleration out of the corner coming down into the valley section, but then as soon as he got into 6th gear, that was it. It just went backwards. And you see a bit of a lock up there for Smokey Devil coming into the chicane. But it's going to be hard work for Mazda to come back through this pack with obviously the limitations he's got on that McLaren. He's not going to be able to make this move down the main straight on Smokey Devil. He's nowhere near close enough, and he's obviously got no straight line speed whatsoever as well. Kieran Argent's got ahead of Liam up into P1.
Oh, Liam Argent, Kieran Argent then up into P1, 5 tenths ahead of Liam Gamer then as it stands at the moment. So Kieran getting his head down after a poor start. Liam just looks a bit wiggly. Oh, is there Argent? Oh, Argent's gone! And Liam's done a carbon copy! Monkey Boy now leads in this race at the moment, and what a shame for Liam Gamer!
Monkey Boy went wide.
There's not fuel down on the track down there, is there? Because I tell you what, I can't believe that. Kieran lost it. Carbon copy was then Liam. Oh, Liam's lost it again. Liam's lost it again. Out the complex. He's dropped down to P6. Was leading this race at the time. Oh, I tell you what, that is such a shame for Liam Gamer. Don Productions has now passed him. What a shame for him. Oh, great start, but just gone horribly wrong. Kieran Argent as well has lost out. He's P5. But look at the two leaders. Monkey Boy Mazda, Smoky Devil. It's a repeat of race 1, isn't it, Andy?
Already, only on lap 3, these guys have made unbelievable progress at the start of this race. They've gone from being in the back 5 of the grid. They're already 1, 2 and 3. NJ there currently sat in 4th. He was caught up in that incident on the first lap. He was involved in a bit of a sandwich coming through turn 2 on lap 1. And it looks like, what is going on there? What is going on there? NJ. Is that NJ? No, it's Smokey. Smokey lagging all over the place.
Oh, a bit laggy,
His connection is definitely suffering a bit.
A bit laggy there from Smoky Devil. That's not what you want to see. Hopefully he can get to lap 12 and get to the end of this race. But at the moment, it is Mazda chasing down Monkey Boy once again. NJ up onto the podium at the minute. Argent's not through with this one. And hopefully this time he can get it done, unlike race 1. Smoky Devil really lagging around in the background there. Can't pit until lap 6 again, unless major damage to the car. So we'll have to see what happens. Aiden apparently lost it as well, that we missed, with everybody going off. Well, she's just commented saying that Aiden had lost it as well. So, I just can't believe that. That seems really unlucky for some of the drivers here. Just seem to have lost it in places. Cold tyres on a cold track, obviously. A bit later in the evening here. It's now 4 o'clock.
Yeah, Smokey, very deep. Smokey's disconnected. That's it. His race is over. Smoky Devil is out of this one. The man who finished on the podium in his debut race a few minutes ago is already out of race 2 before we're even a quarter of the distance in, so he will pick up no points for this one. That is incredibly unfortunate for Smoky Devil. Through no fault of his own, he's out of the running.
What a shame as well, because he was doing so well. But yeah, it's not what you want. It's not what you want to see. Unfortunate for Smoky Devil. So we're down to 14 runners at the moment. Yeah, I was just saying that obviously later in the day, it's 4 o'clock now. It's 3 o'clock now here at Nürburgring, so it is a bit later in the day, obviously with the time progression. And maybe the cooler temperatures, Andy, have just caught drivers out at the beginning of this race. Yeah,
it could very well be. They're trying to get their tyres up to temperature. You wanted to run the tyre pressures a little bit lower than you usually would. Who's that in the foreground who's gotten very wide there? Is that back marker? I think it's Rabbit Joe.
It's Rabbit Joe, yeah, Rabbit Joe.
All sorts of problems.
Well, had that mistake race 1. He's obviously just keeping out of the way. That's good to see as well, him just staying out of the way and doing it by going onto the ground. I wonder if he's wide at the hairpin because Don was coming past. We saw Don coming up the start at the straight. Oh, he's lagging a bit as well, is Rabbit Joe. Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
He has said his internet isn't very good, and the later it gets, the worse it seems to get as well. He's on about buying a Ethernet cable for him for a Wednesday night especially, so hopefully he can get that one sorted.
Yeah,
Phil Naylor in the chat. Mazda's got the spirit of Bruce McLaren with him. Best McLaren driver since Andy's granddad. Brilliant there. NJ 3rd, Argent 4th. This could be a good battle late, deep into this race again. Mazda gaining on Monkey Boy. 1.8 seconds quicker was Mazda last time around.
Yeah, looks like he's on a bit of a mission at the moment. But Monkey Boy with track position at the moment as he's putting a lap there on, I think that is Lewis.
That's DJ Phil.
That's DJ Phil. So DJ Phil there, very nicely moving out of the way. But Mazda, yeah, it looks like he's once again the fastest man out on track, as we saw in the race 1 when he hunted down Monkey Boy. He's got within 2 seconds of him at a much earlier stage than he did in that first race though. So it's looking once again like Mazda has got to be the favourite for the win in this race. He's driving in the Pro-Am category this season with a handicap, I might add, to even it out a little bit, because this man was in contention for the Pro Series title for much of last season. He was ruled out in the end due to work commitments, had to nip it in the bud towards the end of the season. But we know this man is more than capable of winning races in the Pro Series, so the admins at Simplay thought, right, how do we stop this man from riding off into the sunset with every single one of the race wins here at the Pro-Am category? What we're going to do is we're going to put limitations on his car. He runs to certain regulations. The rest of the guys are free to run the default.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens. And Mazda currently is still doing an unbelievable job when you consider the limitations on his car. He took the win in the first race. He's the fastest man out on track in his second race, only a third of the way in. So Mazda currently really showing that he's got incredible talent, even when the odds are stacked against him.
He really has, and he's really showing that he's got the pace in this McLaren. No matter what you put him in with what restrictions, Mazda will go out there and find the time he needs to find. He does a 2 minute. He's actually, look at that, matching the pace of Monkey Boy at the moment. Monkey Boy and him, you can't really separate them at the moment. Their lap times are so similar that it is unbelievable so far. Let's hope that this battle continues throughout the season, because this could be an interesting battle to watch. Obviously, the different circuits we go to, Mazda's restrictions could be hampering him a little more than what they are around Nürburgring, especially when we get to the likes of Daytona and tracks like that. That could really hurt Mazda with his restrictions, but we'll have to wait and see. There's Aidan Bennett, was currently second in this race. He's now down in P6, and he's 4 seconds off the back of Don, but well in front of this little battle of his teammates Stelf Sloth and Alfie in the Porsche. That's Lewis, who's a lap down just in front of the two of them. Oh, he's just lost the rear of that Acura. Or has he kept out of the way? It looks like he may have kept... Oh, just a bit of a nudge with Stelf Sloth there.
Yeah, we're all banging there between Stelf Sloth and Alfie
Lewis.
Right there. Yeah, Alfie right behind, hoping to capitalise if Lewis does take Stelf Sloth out. Not that that's likely to happen, but yes, Alfie trying to close in a little bit on Stelf Sloth. I don't know if Stelf Sloth may have made that move on that previous lap there. He's, you can see there,
potentially.
He's quicker, second and a half quicker. So I presume he made that move on the previous lap.
Possibly so then for Stelf Sloth. That may be the case at the moment. Just kind of all within their own little limits, aren't they, at the minute? Just sort of filtering out as we can now pit from this session.
Yeah, a term that we've been using a lot in the UK recently is they're all in their own little bubble.
Yeah.
But currently Alfie and Stelf Sloth the closest drivers out on track, but Alfie is now losing a bit of time to Stelf Sloth, so I think that confirms my premonition that Stelf Sloth did actually make that move on Alfie on that previous lap, because he is now extending that gap to him. 2 seconds between those two. So the biggest battle that I'm now eyeing up is the one between Monkey Boy and Mazda, which is continuing to come down. Mazda 3/10 quicker on that previous lap on lap 6. Does Mazda pull the trigger, come into the pits now that the pit window's open, knowing that obviously he hasn't got a car that's capable of overtaking Monkey Boy because of his straight line speed?
Well, that's it, isn't it? What does Mazda do compared to Monkey Boy? We said race 1 when Mazda was just within that second mark, and Mazda went longer. So does Monkey Boy pit even earlier, or has Monkey Boy took note of that and gone, do you know what, I'm going to go to the very end? If he's going to do it, he's got to pass me before it gets before he can get into the pits.
Yeah, I think that would be very much the way that he's going to be looking at this. But if I were Monkey Boy in this race, I would just wait for Mazda to come in, and then come in on the same lap if possible. If not, after, try and cover him off.
Yeah.
But it's going to be incredibly challenging for Monkey Boy, because we know that Mazda's just simply got so